footballer, whoosh, everything football. And you get sick, Ryan, don't you dare mention football, whoosh, everything, sick person. She can't lose, can she? Healthy, she gets all the attention. Sick, she gets the red chuffing carpet.
I hate it! I hate my rotting routine! I hate it! My body is gonna die before I do!
Annie, it's all right. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. It's all right, Mommy's here. It's all right. Help me.
Oh, Mum, make it stop. Please just make it stop.
Oh, my baby. I love you. I love you both so much.
Jennifer Kay.
Jen, it's about Mark, the prenatal selection.
Jennifer Kay is against all prenatal interference. Medicine reflects our culture.
Jen!
In a high technology society, we have become obsessed with perfection.
Jen!
We are never going to wipe out birth defects, and technology is changing the experience of pregnancy.
Is that you?
Perfect health is a totalitarian concept.
Stop it!
Jennifer Kay is
Stop!
in conference. I am downloading bulletin
stop!
boards on...
Got me arguing with machinery now.
Dad?
I knew you'd be here. Blance.
It's my life, Dad. And I'm not going back to the academy. I'm 16 now. Officially an adult. That means I can do what I want, and you can't stop me.
You'd probably be in a wheelchair by now if your mother had had anything to do with it.
Don't go putting all the blame onto her.
I'm not. I'm just saying it was all I could do to persuade her to select out the Friedrichs Ataxia.
At least I would have been truly myself.
Please, Mark. I mean, your mother's fine when it comes to theories and fine ideas, but when something needs to be done...
You're the one to do it.
I had to make the decision, yes. And it wasn't easy.
Oh, come on. You knew what you were doing.
Well, maybe I did, but it didn't make it easy.
No?
No.
So tell me, what really happened?
Well, we found out that your mother, against all the odds, was a carrier of Friedrichs too.
I know.
And you had a 1 in 4 chance.
I learnt all this in junior school, Dad.
No, you didn't. This isn't about facts or figures or statistics. Don't tell me what you learnt in junior school. This is about life. I've lived it, and it's not a pretty sight.
Auntie Annie.
You wouldn't remember her.
I do. She had brown hair. She bought me great presents. She had a funny voice.
She had slurred speech from the ataxia. You know, Dr. Burnside thought it was all going to be very straightforward.
She was reckoning without Mum.
I want a natural pregnancy.
With a 1 in 4 chance of passing on the Friedrichs.
But it's horrible to be so choosy. This baby isn't good enough for me. There's something wrong with it.
That's precisely what we're trying to avoid. Most couples in your position choose pre-implantation diagnosis, PID.
Well, we're not most couples.
Jen.
Sorry. Mrs. Kay, it's not my place to try and persuade you either way. But it might help you both to make an informed decision if you would allow me to explain exactly what pre-implantation diagnosis involves. You would be given an injection to make you produce 8 to 10 eggs instead of the usual 1 you produce each month. These eggs are then drawn from you by putting a needle through your tummy. All the eggs could then be fertilized by Ryan's sperm, and then you can select 1 egg that doesn't even carry the gene for Friedrichs.
We're not even a carrier.
So there's no fear of abortion?
Not at all. We put back the one healthy fertilized egg into your womb and you start your pregnancy. I can see you need time to think about this.
What kind of world do we want our baby to grow up in? All this screening, testing. What about the richness of human life?
Richness? We're talking about crippling and painful illnesses, Jen. There's always going to be violence and accidents to give you enough maimed people.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
You'd protect your child against an accident if you could, wouldn't you? So why not protect him
And what's
against...
all this him talk? You'd like to select for that too, I suppose.
I'd prefer a boy,
Oh,
yes!
forget it, Ryan! You want a perfect son? Go find a perfect woman. Okay. We screen out the Fredericks, and then we choose one single clear egg chosen at random and implant it. How she said.
Well, if we're going to choose one particular egg...
No, Ryan.
Well, at least let me look at the profile.
No. Supposing you select out the very thing that might make our child special.
Jan, whatever we do, our child's going to be special.
I know Mum lets her heart rule her head, and you're the other way round. But we're not talking about Mum or Annie. We're talking about what you did to me.
Oh, Mark, you know full well that if I hadn't selected that bundle of cells, it was to become you. Then you, Mark Kay, you wouldn't have existed.
I'm not saying you were wrong to protect me from the Friedrichs, but you didn't stop there, did you? You selected me to be male, and then what else did you do? Try to pick some best bet embryo with genetic predisposition for physical coordination, strength?
Well, every parent wants the best for their child.
You had no right, Dad!
I did it for you, Mark.
Do you know how proud I was when I got into tennis school? I wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but boy was I fast. Coach said he'd never seen reflexes so quick. Do you remember? At the trials. He came up to you and he shook your hand and I saw you laughing. And I thought, I'm good at this. And he's proud of me. Turns out it wasn't me after all. Just another dream your money can buy.
This has got nothing to do with money.
Mum and Dad were both carriers. So their children, us, have a 1 in 4 to 25% chance of having Friedrichs, or a 1 in 4 chance of being okay, with a 2 in 4, 50% chance of being a carrier.
Yeah, but you got it. Does that mean I will too?
No, you've got a 1 in 4 chance.
But they only had 2 kids.
So you think since I've got it, you won't? Look, it's not like if they have 4 kids, 2 are going to be carriers, 1 is going to have Friedrichs, and 1 is going to be clear.
No?
No, it's not that neat. Any kid of 2 carrier parents starts out with the same odds, whether they have 1 kid or 21. Each kid is like a new throw, a new lottery ticket. We all start out with the same odds.
Which is 1 in 4.
Exactly. The odds that 2 coins tossed one after the other will land as 2 tails.
Heads you win, tails you lose. Heads. 2 heads.
Let's hope so.
You're not going to that meeting.
Why not?
I thought you said all you had in common with those people was the same illness.
Yeah, well, I could say that about the girls in the team. All we've got in common is football. And football was a big part of my life. And now Friedrichs is. So I do have a lot in common with them, don't I?
Night, love.
Night, Mum.
Not too long now.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Lovely, yes, I quite like that. Nice and bright. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, I'm sorry.
I think she's drunk.
Thought you weren't going to have any sick people's props.
I am sick of cars honking me because I'm slow on the crossing, and old women tutting because they think I've been on the cider. Plus, it stops me from falling over. Have you worked out what you're going to say?
I think so.
Well, go on then, I'll be the doctor.
Well, Doctor, my name is Ryan Kay.
They know that, it'll be on your notes.
Well, Doctor, as you can see from my notes, my older sister Annie, who is 16, is developing Friedreich's ataxia. I know that this is a recessive inherited disorder caused by a rogue gene in one of 23 pairs of chromosomes in my genome. One of 50,000 or so genes imprinted in each of my cells.
Ryan!
It's interesting.
Yeah, well, just tell him enough to show me you mean business, okay? Don't come across like a nerdy 14-year-old.
Okay. I know that I have a 1 in 4 chance of having the disorder myself, and a 2 in 4 chance of carrying the rogue gene and passing it on to my children.
Yeah, if you ever get a girlfriend.
The doctor wouldn't say that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Therefore, I want to be tested.
No.
Why not?
Well, because I say so.
Annie, the doctor won't be like that.
Oh, yes, he will. Well, he may dress it up a bit, but that's what he'll be saying. You have to persuade him why.
I want to be tested so that I can plan my future.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Our dad was killed in a car accident. My mum is a single parent. As it stands, she will take over caring for my sister Annie if this becomes necessary. I will be the sole breadwinner in my family. Supposing that is not possible, supposing I have Friedreich's ataxia too, don't we have a right, as a family, to know what our future holds? Doesn't my mother?
What's going on?
Ryan's going to the doctor's.
You're not sick, are you?
No, Mum.
No, he wants to be tested.
No.
I want to know.
You're too young.
Mum, he's not too young to have nightmares.
What use is a test? There's nothing they can do. Please, Ryan. Please, no news is good news, love.
So what, we're going to wait for it to creep up on him like it did with me?
I just want everything to be like it was before.
Face it, Mum, things are never going to be the same again.
Oh, me and your father, we wanted to give you everything. We gave you this. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault.
No, it's not. It's the fault of this freaky gene. But Ryan has the right to know, Mum. And if he's brave enough to face it, I think we should be there to support him. Come here.
Well, you obviously feel very strongly about this, Ryan, but our policy, as I outlined, is that we do not test children under 16, except in very unusual circumstances. And I cannot see the benefit in testing your son. I'm sorry, Mrs. Kay.
I'm sick of you people saying I'm sorry. Who do I complain to?
Excuse me?
About you not testing him. Who do I complain to?
I think it's the Community Health Council, Mum.
Right. You got your bus passes. Come on. In 1972, a young girl named Barbara Holland took the Football Association to court over sexism. I lost on that occasion, but only just. And I was 12 years old. You've not heard the last of this.
Families need to know! Families need to know! Families need to know!
Any comments? Well, someone has just said that this is a landmark victory. Well, I don't know about that. But I do know that before all this happened in our family, we didn't know what genetics was. And yet, half of all children under 16 in hospital and half of all deaths of children under 16 are from genetic causes. So I say this to the healthcare professionals. It's our job to care for our children, but it's your job to give us the information so we can do the best job we can. Yay! Testing's a right, not a privilege.
Ryan Kay, we've got your results.
So, which do you think? Light and sporty or off-road sturdy? Well?
I'm not going to get Friedrichs.
Oh, yes!
You know, I am a carrier. You see, I'd have to be careful in the unlikely event that my future wife is a carrier too. He sounded like you, going on and on about the unlikely event I ever get a girlfriend.
I'll go make tea.
Well, cheer up. If I was you, I'd be jumping for joy. I've been sat here looking through wheelchair catalogues, waiting for you to come bounding through the door shouting, I'm clear. I need some good news, Rye.
How can I jump for joy when you still got it?
All these months we have been fighting to find out. This wretched gene has become our whole lives, but it's not got you.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do. You have escaped to carry on. You can go to college and study genetics like you said. Carry the fight on to the next round.
Yeah.
And guess what? You will get a girlfriend. You'll have to fight them off. You may be a bit of a nerd now, but I have a feeling that one day you might turn out to be a really nice bloke. And when you do have children, you give them everything you can. For my sake. For all our sakes. You promised me, Ryan.
Jen agreed we should choose an egg, but she didn't want to make that choice. If I lied to anyone, I lied to myself, thinking I could make that choice objectively.
Dr. and Mrs. Kay.
I was supposed to make a random selection, but I looked at the gene profiles. I'm a geneticist. I understand how to read that kind of information. One of them had a characteristic combination of markers relating to high sporting ability, just like Annie. Well, I had to pick one mark. All I did was pick the best.
Bottom left.
I've never had any talent for anything. Everything's always come hard to me. But you, well, because of, well, no, thanks to Annie's illness. Your mum and I went for a screening and we had the chance to pick a winner. I took it.
You know what's funny? You go through all this to make me how you want me, but you failed because you can choose this or that genetic pattern, but you can't make me think like you. I'm still me after all, aren't I? I've still got my free will, and that part of me, that's me, is saying no.
Perhaps you're right.
What did you say?
I said perhaps you're right.
And another thing, about Auntie Annie, if the technology had been around in your mum and dad's day...
Go on.
And if your parents had done what you did, then Annie would never have been born, would she? Well, hadn't you thought about that?
I wouldn't have changed a single thing about it.
But in that case...
Except that one rogue gene.
But with me, you tried to change everything else as well.
I suppose you'll be going to live with your mother now.
Why? I don't think she's any more right than you were. Look, Dad, I've got to get away from here. Do some thinking. Go see Mum. I've got to decide what I want to do with my life. You know, it's a bit weird, realizing that at 16 you're not the person you thought you were.
Maybe when you find out better who you are, then we can get to know each other better too.
Maybe.
Well, if you don't want to play tennis, you could always be a runner. Well, you took off back there.
Dad, I could be lots of things. Bye, Dad.